Everything I read in February. I read 7 books, 3 I owned, and then 4 I got from the library. Let me show you what I read. The first book I read was Notes of a Crocodile by Xiaomia Jin. I've talked about this book so much. I did a whole video essay on this book. And it became the first foray of my introduction to queering the crocodile tear and crocodiles as a metaphor for queerness. Next, I read The Safekeep. This has been on my TBR since November. Historical sapphic romance, but it's so much more than that. It talks about repression, desire, ancestry. It talks about ownership. Next, I read Soho by Richard Scott. This is a book of poetry, and in it he has a poem called Crocodile, which informed my research into, again, queering the crocodile tear, similar to Notes of a Crocodile. But Richard Scott's writing is beautiful, and he writes a lot about what it means to be gay, but also very heavy themes like sexual assault. But I think he's just got such a singular voice, and the book of poetry is called Soho. Next, I read Your Silence Will Not Protect You by Audre Lorde. Is the conversation that Audre Lorde and Adrienne Rich, another lesbian poet, had, where they're interviewing each other, but mostly Audre Lorde is talking about her life pre-writing. Going to Mexico when she was teaching was such a transformative trip for her that she realized she had that ache and pull to write while in Mexico because everything around her was so beautiful, and she's experiencing such amazing things that she was struggling to put into words, and then that's when she realized she wanted to put things into words. Lost Lambs by Madeline Cash. This, I feel like if you are on Book Talk, you've probably seen the crazy amounts of press this book has gotten, because I was reading this book sobbing, laughing on the tube. I do love like a familial dynastical book where I feel like I'm getting into the minds of all of the characters. I would say believe the hype. The last book I read is Mother Mary Comes to Me by Arundhati Roy. God, holy shit. It follows Arundhati Roy, famous writer, activist, and amazing person all around, meditating on her relationship with her mother alongside her writing career. So it intersperses what was happening in her mom's life with her own life. And studying architecture in Delhi, like, she really takes you through it all, and it's just so honest. And also, she had quite a tumultuous relationship with her mother, and that really comes across in this book. If you're interested in everything I write and read, I have a Substack where I post monthly spirals on how all of these things kind of eat into each other. So if you're interested in that, please do give me a subscribe on there. And yeah, every time I read something, I do often post about it. So yeah.